वेलकम बैक। जीएस टू यूपीएससी के बारे में वी विल डिस्कस अबाउट द क्वेश्चंस ऑफ पॉलिटिकल सिस्टम and you will be surprised to know that the question is designed in such a manner that you will not find the exact terminology or exact statement in anywhere in any textbook or any newspaper or anything. Question is being asked by the UPSC on the basis of that ki how much you are aware about the system, about the country, about the governance, about the sarkar, about the anything. So all your promptness, all your awareness pertaining to these activities of society should be incorporated in your mind and should be alert on the path whatever you are seeking, whatever you are looking for. So the question does not consist in one book or in one chapter or in one go. All the activities are interrelated and associated with so many disciplines and so many contents or subject or paragraph or anything you can say. Question you can see, the most significant achievement of modern law in India is the constitutionalization of environmental problems by the Supreme Court. Discuss this statement with the help of relevant case laws. तो ये कितना जबरदस्त क्वेश्चन है। देखिए कि भारत में आधुनिक कानून की सर्वाधिक महत्वपूर्ण उपलब्धि सर्वोच्च न्यायालय द्वारा पर्यावरणीय समस्याओं का समाधान करना है। तो मोस्ट सिग्निफिकेंट अचीवमेंट ऑफ मॉडर्न लॉ इन इंडिया इज द constitutionalization. Who is the custodian of constitution? Supreme Court, not High Court. Constitutionalize of environmental problems, second term, by the Supreme Court. So you will have to discuss, since it is a 150 words, so you will have not to define constitutionalize, you will have not to define the environmental problem. There is no need to define modern law because the question is asking about 150 words reply. If you are indulging yourself to define all these 4 terminology, then you gone. अगर एक पे भी आपने you have written 20 words in one, then it becomes 60-70 words. So you will have to focus on the demand of question, otherwise you will be distracted and nobody can stop you and the whole answer will gone. तो कृपा करके आप जो है इसको डिफाइन मत करिए। अगर ये 250 वर्ड्स का होता, डिस्टिंग्विश द बोथ स्टेटमेंट ऑफ माइंड, इफ वुड हैव बीन इन 250 वर्ड्स, इन दैट सिचुएशंस आई सजेस्ट कि आप 2 लाइन लिख दीजिए सब पे। So I always repeating that statement, if there is word limit of 150, there is no need to define any terminology or concept whatever, unless until it is being asked what is the constitutionalization, and after that it will ask the most, then a question start. So if there is no demand of what is the constitutionalization, there is no need to write the terminological definitions of the terms which is used here. तो अब सीधा सीधा आप आइए और इसमें जो कह रहा है कि यू विल हैव टू रिलेवेंट केस लॉ। अभी देखिए, अब यू विल हैव टू कीप इन माइंड कि व्हाट द सुप्रीम कोर्ट हैज गिवन द वर्डिक्ट रिलेटिंग टू दैट स्टेटमेंट। तो ये थोड़ा सा आपको तंग करेगा क्योंकि ये कह रहा है कि रिलेवेंट केस लॉज बताइए, उसके रेफरेंस में you'll have to explore the answer. If you written all the answer but not in the pertaining to this field, you will get 0 mark. Or I can write good answer but I am not remembering the cases laws जो ये कह रहा है कि pertaining to environment, so you will have to pick 2-3 example That is not पर्यावरणीय problem, no. Salman Khan case is directly not related with the environmental problem. That case is indirectly related with the environment because the species which he sought, that was not in the motive of to destruct the environmental problem. So the case is totally different. But indirectly you can say, but directly it is not. The main things, मुझे जहाँ तक याद आ रहा है कि सुप्रीम कोर्ट का एक डिसीजन आया कि एनवायरमेंटल को लेकर के कि जो भी रोड बन रहा है, वट एवर द रोड इन इंडिया इज मेकिंग, द प्लांट, द ट्रीज शुड नॉट बी गेट हैम्पर्ड. You will have to divert the roads rather than cutting the trees. ठीक है. On so many places, national highway projects, quadrilateral projects are getting affected by cutting the trees. In the railway track also, by cutting the trees not being allowed by the Ministry of Forest. And if you are trying to go to the NGT, NGT is also in favor of that environmental. And after that you proceed to the Supreme Court. Supreme Court is the same view. And after the Supreme Court views, it reflects that this problem is the major problem as it is affecting the basic structure of Constitution. As Supreme Court thinks like that. Because environmental problem will directly related to the human mankind by their survival under Article 21, the better environment and better ecosystem is required for living the life satisfactorily and in a good manner. Pollution right, even pollution free air and this and that is also your fundamental right. In that situation, if you are cutting the trees to make the road, you are widening the road, that will affect your survival by hampering the environmental ethos and ecosystems. That is general perception, general case law by the Supreme Court, or in account of that the road has been stuck. Both side of road is coming and बीच में जो है ऐसे बहुत सारे प्रोजेक्ट्स हैं फंसे हुए हैं. अगर आप उत्तराखंड का एग्जाम्पल देखें तो गंगोत्री यमुनोत्री की जो कनेक्टिविटी रोड वाइडनिंग, दैट इज ऑल्सो स्टक. In that situation, Supreme Court, in that situation, it is reflecting that the Supreme Court has made the environmental problems as a constitutionalized problem. There are lots of decisions, but you will have to pick 2-3 cases which is prominent. जैसे मैंने NH का बोला, नेशनल हाईवे अथॉरिटी ऑफ इंडिया का, दैट इज द रियल एग्जाम्पल, है ना. एनवायरमेंट की आ रहे हैं, उसी के बाद आ रहे हैं. तो व्हाट वाज द सॉल्यूशंस गिवन बाय द गवर्नमेंट. तो फर्स्ट यू स्टिक हियर एंड दैट इज द सेकंड थिंग व्हिच इज नॉट बीइंग आस्क्ड. अगेन दिस इज द प्रॉब्लम. अदरवाइज आई हैव ऑलरेडी टोल्ड. नहीं ठीक है, दैट इज गुड. इफ यू आर raising the question means you are going into the right direction. You raise questions. You raise your questions and I will suggest what is the right or what is the wrong. So that example is not required because the question is not pertaining to like that. Otherwise I have discussed CAMPA and so many funds and all these activities we are compensated. तो इसमें आपको ये लिखना होगा कि मोस्ट सिग्निफिकेंट अचीवमेंट मॉडर्न लॉ इन इंडिया इज द कंसिडरेशन प्रॉब्लम. अब ये कह रहा देखिए कि मोस्ट सिग्निफिकेंट अचीवमेंट. और मजे की बात देखिए कि इसको बांध दिया. इट हैज बीन कन्फाइंड इन द पर्सपेक्टिव ऑफ एनवायरमेंटल. सी द पॉइंट. जबकि while Supreme Court's decisions pertaining to so many field and spheres and activities and various sectors pertaining to other than environmental, but you will have not to brought that all these things PETA and so and so and which is not related directly with the environmental issue. अब उसने बोला सेम सेक्स मैरिज अलाउड नहीं है, भाग जाओ. उसने बोला कि भाई हेट स्पीच इज अंडर आर्टिकल 19, बट द गवर्नमेंट शुड मेक a specific law to stop that hate speech. It means कि hate speech has also been constitutionalized. Constitutionalization means the process of making law in conjunction of constitutional provisions. So if you are making any law under the reference of constitution, that is, that law, after making that law, the subject has become constitutionalized. Clear है? Any activities, any law which is being framed by the parliament in conjunction of articles mentioned in the constitution, that law become constitutionalized. But here he is focusing about only problems pertaining to the environment. So in that situations, whatever I have told, same sex marriage and so many activities, hate speech and this and that, shelter and environment and pollution free, this and that, that will not to be mentioned here, because the question is confined to the environmental problem. Clear है? So you will have not to, you will have not to distract. Clear है ना? So after the discussion, what we found that, तो NH नेशनल हाईवे का एग्जाम्पल आप कोट कर दीजिए, और आधुनिक कानून की जो सबसे सिग्निफिकेंट अचीवमेंट ऑफ मॉडर्न लॉ इन इंडिया इज कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनलाइज को हमने जो डिफाइन किया वो कर दीजिए, बट दैट टू बी फोकस्ड एंड रिलेटेड विद द एनवायरमेंटल प्रॉब्लम. तो गवर्नमेंट ने क्या किया, उन्होंने तो मना कर दिया, एनजीटी ने मना कर दिया कि नो, आई विल नॉट गिव ऑर्डर टू कट द ट्री इन द रेस्पेक्ट ऑफ national highway projects, railway projects, big dam projects. उड़ीसा एक केस में डील कर रहा था, उड़ीसा का कालाहांडी में देर इज ए कनेक्टिविटी ऑफ 52 kilometers ऑफ लैंड, रेलवे लैंड टू बी कंस्ट्रक्टेड in between of Kalahandi, and the problems started by making agitations of localites, and the problem is so pathetic that the government's 500 crores is just stuck. Power Finance Corporation of India, or that project is always been in the dispute by localites that we are suffering from the environmental issue. Second thing is in Goa port, where the so many rakes of coal was handled, that has gone down. Localites again make NGT and this and that. And the whole project is stuck. Again, the third example is just keeping in mind, the connectivity between Goa to Bangalore, that is the double gauge, and the 30-kilometer stretch of Goa is not being constructed on the agitations of localites. So there are lots of, तो सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने उसमें बोला है कि क्या करना है क्या नहीं करना है. तो आपको ये लिखना पड़ेगा कि serious view about the environmental problem, serious view regarding environmental problems is taken by NGT as well as Supreme Court, and that problems is not being sorted out in compromising manner, seems that this problem has been incorporated as a articles in the Constitution. And the Supreme Court is always trying to say and recommending that you should compensate that losses after that you will make whatever you want to create infrastructure. Because in my opinion, Supreme Court opinion, the environmental problem is directly related to the sustainability and the human development spheres. तो उसके बाद अब 2-3 केस जो हम डिस्कस किए इसको उठा लीजिए और उसमें बता दीजिए कि इतने सारे प्रोजेक्ट जो है स्टक किए हुए हैं, लेकिन यू विल हैव टू कन्फाइन दैट एग्जाम्पल इवन टू एग्जाम्पल, बट दैट एग्जाम्पल टू बी कोटेड इन द स्पेसिफिक मैनर. जैसे गोवा का बोला हमने, हाँ गोवा का जो डबल लाइन का वो हुआ, हाँ नेशनल हाईवे का है उत्तराखंड का. एनी 2-3 एग्जाम्पल्स, मिनिमम 2 एग्जाम्पल्स टू बी कोटेड एंड reflected that this project has been stuck by the Supreme Court's order related to the environmental issues, seems that it has been constitutionalized problem and it cannot be amended, it cannot be handled like articles of any constitutions as tough to handle that provision as this problem of environment. तो ये लिखने के बाद 2-3 आप केस उठाइए और उसको डिस्कस करके लिख दीजिए, खत्म. बट द कीप इन माइंड डिस्ट्रैक्शन, देयर इज नो नीड टू राइट कैम्फा, लास्ट में लिख दीजिए 2 लाइन, बट दैट फोकस शुड नॉट बी देयर. तो आपको क्या करना होगा, आपको रिलेवेंट केस लॉ एटलीस्ट 2-3 जो हमने बताया, हाँ बस वो लिखना है जो आप आम जनरल पब्लिक के रूप में यू आर ऑलरेडी रीडिंग एंड you have already seen in media and so on. So that example is to be quoted, otherwise the answer will not be complete. Clear है? So my suggestion and my approach pertaining to that question is to bring you back to the question and not distract from the question. You will have to always keep in mind द अट्रैक्शन एंड डिस्ट्रैक्शन. तो अगर आप डिस्ट्रैक्ट होते हैं तो दैट विल बी द लॉस. ठीक है, सेकंड देखिए, ये सेकंड क्वेश्चन इज simple question that is not required to be discussed because you know right of movement and residence throughout the territory of India are freely available to the Indian citizens, but this right is not absolute. अब यहाँ जो कह रहा है ना भारतीय में जो है एब्सोल्यूट नहीं है, उन्होंने बार बार नॉट एब्सोल्यूट, नॉट डिविजिबल, नॉट रिलेटिव, तो ये सब क्वेश्चन जो है आजकल में देख रहा है. तो नॉट, तो ये कह रहा है कि बट दिस राइट्स आर नॉट एब्सोल्यूट, माने इट में what is the restrictions put by the constitution that should be quoted and that should be written only, not more than that. That is the